welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Pioneer, and this is a dealer's choice from Patreon subscriber Chadwick. I've chosen to play this because I'm recording this the day before Modern Horizons 3 becomes available on Magic Online. And rather than record a Modern or Legacy video that will be obsolete by the time you all see it, I'm going to record a format that's not affected by Modern Horizons 3. This is Izzet Phoenix. This is the exact 75 that I split the finals of my second RCQ of the season with. I won the first RCQ I played in this season with Phoenix, and then I played a second one because there were dual lands as prizes, and I split the finals and got all the dual lands in exchange for the invite. I had a very good RCQ season with Phoenix. The core interaction of this deck is putting Arclight Phoenix in your graveyard and then casting 3 spells in a turn, then you get your Phoenixes back and you get these free threats while gaining card selection and card advantage, stuff you wanted to do anyway. While we're dumping cards into the graveyard, Treasure Cruise is legal in this format for reasons. Very good way to dominate a mid-game. Just cast Ancestral Recall. Not bad. Ledger Shredder gets bigger, puts your Phoenixes in the graveyard, fuels your Treasure Cruises, blocks basically everything in the format. Picklock Prankster. A relatively new addition. I had not played with this card until round 1 of the RCQ that I won. I just don't play Paper Pioneer that often. It's very much a PTQ format for me. I play it when I have to. But this card, holy smokes. Free the Fae, mill 4, put an instant sorcerer fairy from among the milled cards into your hand, and then this goes on an adventure. This puts so many cards in your graveyard. You can even free the Fae and find a Picklock Prankster to do it again. You find Treasure Cruise, you find removal, and the body is not irrelevant. 1/3 Flying Vigilance. That does impact the board, especially with Prof's Eidetic Memory. ATB, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X +1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. Picklock Prankster just becoming a 3/5, 4/6, 8/10 Flying Vigilance. This deck draws a lot of cards. It's very easy to make this thing very stupid very quickly. And that is an enormous creature that's hard to deal with in this format. The air quotes combo late game is Galvanic Iteration and Temporal Trespass, and you just take 3 turns in a row and kill your opponent out of nowhere. A misconception about this deck from people who don't play Pioneer or don't really understand what this deck's trying to do is it's not a blazing fast aggro deck. It would be easy to think that based on dumping Phoenix into the graveyard, then throwing it into play quickly. But a lot of the times you end up down to your bottom 5 or 6 cards in your deck, and you set up these giant turns where you just 20 your opponent out of nowhere, or instead of putting a Phoenix into play on turn 3, even though you could, you just hold up interaction and then put 2 Phoenixes into play on turn 5 when your opponent's out of gas. There's a lot more interesting control cantrip nuance to this deck than just spewing Phoenixes into play, but sometimes your draw lets you spew Phoenixes into play. You get to do that too. I enjoy this deck. It might be boring if you just play a lot of Pioneer and you're sick of seeing the best deck, but this is the best deck for a reason. Here we go. This is Izzet Phoenix. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep this hand, has a bunch of Ledger Shredders and some interaction. People say that the draw is really horrible in Pioneer. Like the coin flip, the die roll at the start of the matchup, or the start of the match, is really important. And that's not wrong, but I was on the draw for every single round of the first RCQ that I won. So it's hard to say it's the only thing really going on. We're playing against a Malia combo, which means having this Fiery Impulse and Lightning Axe are going to be important. I'm going to play Lava Glide Pathway and pass. Deep Cavern Bat. Yeah, I'm just going to pick that off with the Fiery Impulse. This is a Chord of Calling deck, so any creature that's in play matters. They can't win from this spot right here, which means it's a great time to deploy a Ledger Shredder. Shocked and Overgrown Tomb, played Sentinel of the Nameless City. That does die to Lightning Axe. Okay, I'm going to shock in Steam Vents and then play Ledger Shredder and Lightning Axe, and I'm going to connive 2. Discard River Glide Pathway. Otawara could still be huge here. Discard Consider. Discard Sleight of Hand. I like Picklock Prankster a lot. In we go. Cenote Scout. Found another Rage Reverse Thicket. Another Cenote Scout. I get to connive some more. Ledger Shredder is busto, if you hadn't heard. It does matter in paper, by the way. I guess it matters online too, but you have to announce it in paper what order your shredders are conniving in, because that affects like what size they are. If you have 2 that are different sizes, it matters. Okay. Amalia's in play. I'm just going to play River Glide Pathway and attack for 5 flying and hold up Otawara. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them is Razor Birch Thicket. And if they don't go for it this turn, I can Picklock Prankster and dig for some spells. Okay, they have another Court of Calling, it looks like. Oh, Knight Errant of Eos. Sure. That one's good too. They look at their top 6 cards, they can reveal up to 2 3-drops. A Deep Cavern Bat triggers my Shredders. Discard another Shredder. I should probably Prankster in response, because I'm going to do that anyway. Am I going to do that anyway? Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to free the Fae in response here. I found a Consider. I'll take that one, because it's my only choice. And then this Consider also connives, leaving up red. Discard Steam Vents. Discard Arclight Phoenix. Consider with this Opt in the graveyard. And, Treasure Cruise at the end of the chain here. Deep Cavern Bat's going to get to steal that, unfortunately. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them is Lunarch Veteran. They're pretty close to going off here. I'd love a red removal spell. We did it. Okay, this is where this deck gets deeply insane. Fiery Impulse, Deep Cavern Bat, cast Treasure Cruise, and they're just scooping. They know it's over. This Treasure Cruise was going to connive 2, then draw 3. Very likely to trigger Phoenix here. Nice. Amalia has a ton of graveyard hate in it, and they're kind of a combo deck that you just want to fend off until you can beat them. So what I'm going to do here is board out a bunch of the stuff that really only functions with the graveyard. That's the Phoenixes, the Iteration, the Trespass. And I'm bringing in just a bunch of interaction and removal, and then some big creatures that can close the game. Prismari Command is a card that I probably want as well. This wasn't in my first list, but was in my second list, and it didn't come up often. I didn't play against this, but this does steal 2 damage to Amalia, so I probably want it. I think I want to cut an Eidetic Memory for it. Let's go. Just wall of removal, and then some stuff that can win at the end. I'll keep this. Tap Temple Garden to start the game. Love to see it. I'm going to Sleight of Hand. Do I want the second red removal spell or the first fairy? I think I want just removal lined up. I would really like some more lands, but this deck plays so many cantrips that you can just keep 1 and 2 landers all the time and it's fine. Prosperous Innkeeper is very strong. Treasure Cruise, alright. I'm going to shock in Steam Vents and just pass the turn. Holding up Lightning Axe so I don't just get clowned by some nonsense. I guess I should have Sleight of Handed on my turn because I'm still holding up Lightning Axe, and then if they just don't do anything, I would have gotten both cantrips. Yeah, that was bad. Alright, I'll put Opt on top and then Opt as well. I don't want this Opt because I am trying to hit lands at this point. Right, Collected Company in my end step while I'm tapped out. That's fine. I don't have counterspells in my deck right now. Extraction Specialist targeting nothing. Shield Sentinel of the Nameless City gets a map, and they gain 2 life. It did find land number 3. What do I want to do with it? I would have loved to shove this Ashiok, but now they have all this power into play. I'm going to start with Sleight of Hand. Okay. I will take Spire Bluff Canal. This lets me just leave up double removal. Dina Soul Steeper. When you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, am I more worried about this or the Prosperous Innkeeper? Together, it's a lot to manage. I guess I can take 1 from this and then decide where my axes are going to go later in the turn. Like if they commit their map token somewhere, I can blow it out with a Lava Axe. My plan here is to axe 2 things and then untap and cast Treasure Cruise. I have Beseiju. Alright, they're going to combat. I'm going to kill Sentinel before it can make another map. They can attack for 4. I'm not going to act yet. The lifelink off the specialist also drains me for 1. Wild Growth Walker. That's one that I want to destroy. Do I need to do this? Yeah, I think so. Kill the Walker. I think Ashiok has passed their prime here. Past their useful window. I'd love to treasure cruise into an Anger of the Gods or just rip an Anger of the Gods straight up. That's fine too. Now I feel silly for killing that thing, but I didn't know that was there. Cruise your daddy. Stupid magic card. Sweep all this up. They still have 2 cards in hand. They can regrow, but I get to shove Crackling Drake on the next 2 turns, and we'll see what's what after that. What I don't want to see here is just Amalia plus backup creature. Yeah, okay. Extraction Specialist. Really strong. They're at 25 life. They have 1 card in hand. Ashiok, not what I'm looking for here. Drake is really big, though. Draws a card. I'll play my tap land this turn and pass. And if they got me, they got me. Sentinel in Nameless City. Just doing some exploring here. Amalia's on top of the deck, which means I am incentivized to clear that out with Ashiok. I could block here. That turns this 5/4 lifelink into this 3/5. Yeah, I guess I'm going to block. At 10 life. There's risks involved, obviously. I'd love a removal spell. Spire, Bluff, Canal. Oh, Ashiok can clear Amalia from the top of their deck if I don't want them to have her. Yeah, they can go off next turn. Sentinel attacks, and then they map token, and then they have a 20/20 and they pass the turn. I don't currently have a Brazen Borrower in my hand, which is the thing that would make this okay. I could Picklock Prankster, looking for Brazen Borrower. Yeah, this is risky regardless. I'm going to free the Fae. I did find Brazen Borrower and Fiery Impulse. Fire Impulse doesn't kill anything, though. It kills Amalia, which is not the worst. Okay, I'm going to put Brazen Borrower in my hand now, which means I can play Crackling Drake this turn. And even if they make a 20/20, I can just bounce it and there will be no other cards in play. I think that's how this works. I can kill anything that might attack here. Yeah, block that. But they're at least investing in their combo here. There's Amalia. Played out their last card in hand. Okay, here goes the combo. Skyclave Apparition on top of the deck. So the combo here is when you gain life, you explore, and when you explore, you gain life, and they can just basically make a 20/20 and set up the top of their deck and gain a gajillion life in between. The gajillion life might be unbeatable for the cards in my deck, honestly. I've already discarded Eidetic Memory. Yeah, I don't think I can actually win this game. I've used both my Drakes already. Is decking them an option? How does this even work? Like I said, I don't play a lot of Pioneer. Oh, I can Ashiok minus the last 18 cards out of their deck? Ooh, Aetherflux Reservoir. That's fun technology. Okay, so they kept Aetherflux Reservoir. And their hand is otherwise lands. Okay, their hand is these 7 lands in Aetherflux Reservoir right now. It costs me 3 life to bounce Amalia. Aetherflux Reservoir. Oh, right, that just fucking kills me. No, it doesn't, because I have Ashiok. Sucker. Alright, yeah, I mill that away. Reservoir's gone. You have 14 cards left in your deck. Spire Bluff Canal enters tapped. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, you gain 1 life. I don't care about that. Picklock Prankster to block this thing. Oh, wait. I needed to bounce the Amalia. Alright, I'll just chump block for a turn and hope it's fine. Okay, I got to chump block Amalia. Hope they don't draw a removal spell. Attack Enuma, just raw dogging it. Prosperous Innkeeper, Cenote Scout, Luminarch Veteran. They did hit on that. Innkeeper. I don't care about their life total. Yeah, my plan is just deck them with Ashiok here. Block. Why didn't the Phantom attack as well? That was a free one. I have to block Amalia. Shockton Temple Garden, because they have another Lunarch Veteran to... Oh, we have a Knight Errant. Where'd that even come from? Was that just the last card in their hand before they started the Amalia combo? I lost track of that one. I thought they were Hellbent. Extraction Specialist. They took Cenote Scout and Prosperous Innkeeper. I'm going to consider in the end step. Don't need Spire Bluff Canal. All of the Storm Giants is the draw. I basically just have to survive one turn here. I guess I'll take a Steam Vents, though I don't want any of this. And Brazen Borrow Petty Theft puts me to 7 because this has Ward. I will pay the Ward. Put that back in your hand. I can... This doesn't fly. It just looks like it's in the air. This flies. You gain a life. I don't care. I'm going to kill the Knight Errant and discard a card to do it. Put you to 4 cards in your deck. Ashiok's at 3, and I have a blocker. I'm going to hold back Hall of Storm Giants because I do have looting effects in my deck, and attacking them for 7 is not part of my plan. 3 cards left in their deck. Ashiok has exactly enough loyalty left to finish them off. Collected Company. All right, yeah, look at your deck. Put any creatures that are into play. We know there's an Extraction Specialist in there, and they're done. Cool. Just stop them from winning long enough to win. Like I said in the deck tech, this isn't about aggro Phoenix. This is about control, and you sometimes get free Phoenixes, but this matchup, I boarded them out. Not even part of the game plan. Off we go. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. Island Ponder Keep is quite a mantra in a deck with this many cantrips. I don't mulligan often when I play Phoenix. Mutavault Pass. Interesting. I should probably be able to know what this is, but I don't. I don't think I want Ashiok versus Mutavault decks. I don't think I need a third Lava Axe either, though. I will take Ashiok. You can target yourself with Ashiok in this deck, because it's target player mills 4, then each opponent exiles their graveyard. You can mill yourself, fuel your cruises and stuff, and then move on. Caustic Bronco. That can die. Red Side Pathway. And I can opt on their turn. It doesn't really matter. Sulphurous Springs. Okay, here comes Sorin. This is going to resolve. I don't have the Spell Pierce in my hand. I can beat a Vein Ripper, though, from my position. It's fine. Yeah, there's Vein Ripper. Lightning Axe is great. When your deck is full of cards you're happy to discard. Also great. Okay, I'm going to opt first. Prophysidetic Memory. Not interested in that right now. Lightning Axe, the Bronco. And me axing the Bronco tells them I have another axe. Oh wait, I need a creature in play. Right. I can't kill the Vein Ripper yet. That's the power of Vein Ripper. Okay. This is a Ashiok myself situation. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose to this Vein Ripper, actually. I forgot that I need a creature in play. And I can't just pick it off. Which is kind of the whole point of this fucking card. What am I even talking about right now? Your deck between the Picklock Pranksters and the Phoenixes frequently does have a creature laying around. But that happened too early. I think on the draw, if I'm on the play this game, I think I'm not worried about this, but I think I'm going to get crushed by it. Because now with the +1 counter and lifelink, it's bigger than Lightning Axe. I go to 11, you go to 29. I've played against vampires a lot, and this is actually the first time I'm just getting ranched by the Sorin combo. So, cool to see this in action. Okay, there's a Prankster, a turn too late. I think I'm going to Ashiok myself again. I did hit a second Phoenix. I want a Galvanic Iteration and cast 2 Treasure Cruises here. I draw 6. If there's a land and a spell, somehow there's not a land at all in those 6 cards. Okay, well, I'm not getting my Phoenixes back. And that's probably the end of that. I needed to put a bunch of creatures into play here and just failed to do it. So this is 10 damage. I'm at 1. Okay. Well, that sucked. If I had some Phoenixes to jump and buy some time, we could have figured that out, but not if you're going to miss like that. Okay. Vampires. As usual, boarding out a bunch of graveyard stuff because every deck plays Graveyard Hate. Got Phoenix, Trespass, Iteration, Ashiok Treasure Cruise. Fire Impulse doesn't kill much out of their deck. Bringing in my big removal spells, things that kill things with more than 5 toughness, and Young Pyro is really good at building out creatures against their fair draws, and Negate can counter Sorin. I will keep and pass. They have Swamp Go. Consider into consider. Yeah, I'll take another one. I'm still in the card selection phase of this game. Prankster, what's up? Okay. Prankster means I have Vein Ripper covered. This is just a body that I can lay around with this Lightning Axe. Unlicensed Hearse. This is why we board out a bunch of graveyard stuff. And end step Prankster. Free the Fae. Treasure Cruise, Brazen Borrower, Negate. Okay, Negate can counter Sorin. Brazen Borrower can deal with Unlicensed Hearse. I think I just want the Negate. It covers Sorin, it covers Fable. Exiling 2 cards from my graveyard. That was smart to do, because I would have been able to Treasure Cruise if they didn't. I'm going to put Steam Vents in tapped, because they've seen the Negate. It's not like I'm bluffing anything or hiding anything. If they don't play into Negate, then I'll cast Consider. Thoughtseize, okay. I guess I'll just negate that then. You got me. Second Hearse. Yeah, even boarding out Treasure Cruise, still have a bunch of them stuck in my hand here. I'd love a Ledger Shredder to smooth this out. Hey! Always call it out, folks. It's there. You just have to believe. Consider loot away one of these Treasure Cruises. Consider Prof's Identic Memories. A sicko, I'll keep that. My hand can beat a Vein Ripper if they put one into play. I have creatures to sacrifice. I have 5 damage to deal. Fatal Push, you got me. And they didn't have a 3-drop. Interesting. Another Ledger Shredder. Life is good, magic is easy. Opt to immediately get this value. Discard Treasure Cruise. I am interested in this land. Put it in tapped. That represents Drake next turn. Another removal spell. Not surprising considering they didn't do anything when they had all that mana and me tapped out last turn. But all these Fatal Pushes they're using on things that aren't Drake will eventually be good for me. The bad news is, this Hearse is already a 6/6. Archfiend of the Dross, this can crew a Hearse. They're getting in for 6. They've got 2 cards in their hand. I could opt Memory Picklock Prankster, or I'd have to see if I hit a land first. I could just play Drake and trade off with the Archfiend. 6 toughness is the magic number. They lose the game 4 turns from now, but it's unlikely to take that long. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Drake here. One of my very few big enough things to kill a 6 toughness thing. Caustic Bronco, that can crew these enormous Hearses and push damage, unfortunately. That's a 6/6. Archfiend is also a 6/6. I'm more worried about the Archfiend, though. That just has a bunch of other words on it, too. And it's 6. Dead to either of these Hearses connecting. Spirebluff Canal is not what I was looking for. If that was just untapped mana of any kind, I'd be in a pretty good spot, but it's not. So what am I going to do about it? I'm going to start with an opt. Young Peasy, let's go. All right. Let's put you in the hand. And I can play Young Pyromancer, hold up Lightning Axe, get an extra blocker. Or I could play Picklock Prankster as a blocker, hold up Lightning Axe, and have a really good Young Pyromancer next turn. I think that's better. And I think I should actually axe the Bronco now before it can crew anything. Sorry, Prof's memory, you're out. This is Young Peasy's game now. I'm not worried about the 2/2. I'm worried about the 6/6s. And that 8/8. Uh-oh, they're spending mana in the end step. They changed their mind. Oh no, what could that be? Sorin. Oh no, they actually have the vampire. Yikes. This means this crews the Hearse. Oh wow, it was so much worse. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay. That was a very good last 3 cards in your hand. And they just drew one of them. So one of those pieces just came together. They must have had the Fatal Push because they tap mana in the end step and then changed their mind. Okay, yeah, just that's the power of the Sorin deck. That's the first time I've really had that unload on me like that. And yeah, I see the appeal. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past.
Leave the heavy lifting to topdeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. On the draw in round 3, and I'm going to keep my hand. Interaction, Picklock Prankster, and then Treasure Cruise to bring us home. Another Rakdos deck. Thoughtseizing my Prankster here would be pretty bad for me. Thoughtseize confirmed. Thoughtseize, I think, is the most powerful individual card in the Pioneer format, and decks that can leverage it, obviously, pretty good. Okay, I'm going to play River Glide Pathway. I think that 2 life might matter in this matchup, and we'll see how it shakes out if I have to shock in Steam Vents next turn or not. Consider. Found Opt. I'll keep it. Another Prankster, sick. Okay. I can beat a Vein Ripper now. The sequence is free the Fae, this goes on an adventure, next turn play the Prankster, Lava Axe, sack the thing. Okay, that is not that, which I'm mostly happy about. That card's good too. End step, free the Fae. Opponent knows this unlocks Treasure Cruise. Free the Fae into another free the Fae. The nuts. We're going off. Ooh, okay. Ledger Shredder is worth the pivot here. Ledger Shredder, Fiery Impulse, get the Connive. Do I need this basic island? I don't think so. Or do I need Opt? Do I want Ledger Shredder to be bigger, is the question. I do. Yep, still set up to remove a Vein Ripper, still set up to Treasure Cruise next turn. They kept all their cards with Fable. Already perfect. Feels good, man. Fatal Push. Ooh, Case of the Stash Skeleton. ATB, make a 2/1 skeleton token and suspect it. That means it can't block and has menace. To solve, you control no suspected skeletons. And then the solved thing is sacrifice this case, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Alright, so you get a Demonic Tutor if I kill your skeleton. Understood. Can I play this game ignoring the skeleton completely? Let's find out. I'll start by casting Treasure Cruise. That one's pretty good. I found Temporal Trespass, and I don't normally like playing out Ledger Shredder where it could just die, so I won't. I'll play this. Oh wait, I could free the Fae from hand. Yeah, that's better. I'll just hold my horses. I don't need creatures in play right now. I don't want to trade with the skeleton. The skeleton is awfully spooky, but you know what's spookier? Demonic Tutor. The skeleton's attacking. I'm holding Trespass as well. I can kind of set up the combo. Another Fable. Alright, I'm going to free the Fae in response. I do play Spell Pierce. Found Opt instead. Okay. Your thing resolves. We're now 24 cards into my deck. No sign of a Phoenix. But who's counting? Right, I don't need another Lava Axe. Sleight of Hand. All of Storm Giants. Okay, Ledger Shredder. Get in there. Sleight of Hand. Connive. Still no sign of a Phoenix. I'm going to discard Consider. Sleight of Hand, come on. We're fully halfway through the deck now. Hook it up. Nope, no Phoenix in the top half of my deck. Alright, Sleight of Hand in my hand. Play Hall of Storm Giants. And I'm going to kill Reflection of Kiki Jiki before that thing goes off. And I'm going to discard Sleight of Hand. I'm kind of trying to get to this Temporal Trespass phase of the game. Fable goes to 2 here. They have 2 cards in hand. They're at the point where they can just cast Vein Ripper, though. If they have just Land Ripper in hand. I'm at 10. Transmogrify. Oh, this is so much worse. This is not what I thought was going on. Okay. They have Atraxa now. That's going to be tough to beat. Oh, I didn't even realize they revealed a Gigantha. Yeah, they can't have Vein Ripper in their deck with Gigantha. Jesus. Alright. Yeah, that just snuck right by me the whole time. Okay, surprise. They're this. If I knew this is what was going on, I would have just held up in removal. We got question mark in the chat. I don't know what you want me to say to your question mark. Fire Impulse and Lightning Axe. I can defeat Atraxa here. Not very well, though. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. Picklock Prankster, go in. So is this an Indomitable Creativity deck or Transmogrify only? Basically just saw their whole deck, and there's no creativities there. If I had played both Pranksters, I could kill the Atraxa here. I think I just have to clear the Atraxa anyway. Okay, Fiery Impulse finishes off Atraxa. I am in a lot of trouble because I just failed to recognize what this deck is. Now they're Demonic Tutoring, for probably Transmogrify. Yep. Gonna Traxa again. Bankbuster, Mirrex, Children's Edict, another Curse of the Skeleton. Arclight Phoenix. All right, halfway through the deck, we found one. Literally 30 cards through. Okay. We've lost this game in large part because I just didn't realize what they were doing. Awkward. Okay, boarding out the graveyard combo. Do I actually want Ashiok? It turns off Curse of the Skeleton. Were they doing any other searching? Maybe I don't want Ashiok, so don't bring in the second one and do cut the first one. Basically always like Crackling Drake. Beacon Bolt can kill an Atraxa if one comes into play. I'd prefer one just doesn't come into play though. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this, bring in just a bunch of interaction and a different way to win. I will reveal their Gigantha this time. Keep my hand. Cantrip, interaction, Treasure Cruise. Duress, I will just Spell Pierce this, so that's not an option. My secrets will be my own. Consider in the main. I will keep a Fiery Impulse, because they'll have to Transmogrify something eventually. Unlicensed Hearse. Graveyard, already garbage. Thanks, Treasure Cruise. Glad there's two of you in my hand. Island Go. Alright, now we're just way behind and need to find a Ledger Shredder or Drake before we can really do anything. Fable resolves. I can't really afford to counter the Goblin. Or kill the Goblin here. Now maybe I can. I think I'm just going to pass here. End step Prankster might be able to get something going into a Treasure Cruise through the Hearse. Like if I Prankster into Prankster, that's more than a Hearse can remove. I'm going to let them have the treasure. I don't think that's as important as maybe executing my own plan here. And they put Gigantha in hand. Free the Fae. Hit Aether Gust, Lightning Axe. Guess I'll take Aether Gust. Really hate seeing a Crackling Drake and Profs go to the graveyard though. Those are two of my better cards. I'm going to Impulse the Goblin now. I have Gust. I know it can cover Transmogrify. Oh, okay. Free the Fae. Puts 4 into the graveyard immediately. Consider. Play my land for the turn. Cast Consider. In this island. Cast Treasure Cruise. And I did draw a Fire Impulse. Alright, we got a cruise through the Unlicensed Hearse, and I have Transmogrify covered. If they just try to shove it on this flipped Fable. Duress, goddammit. Alright, well. I'll still kill this creature. I can at least fend off that line. Duress can't take Crackling Drake. They took Treasure Cruise, even though they have Hearse in play. I like that. And here's Jeggy. Okay. I can remove that from play. My options here are start doing Shredder stuff, or just shove Crackling Drake and hold up Aether Gust. I'm going to do that. I can just Gust Jeggy. I'll do that. I don't want them to have this mana or the ability to crew their thing. Gigantha is on the bottom of the library. Not part of the plan. They're dead in 2 hits, but my shields are down at this point. Transmogrified my Drake into a Phoenix. Yep, that's a thing you can do. And then exile my Phoenix. Okay. That was a 3-for-1. Shredder. Shredder. Connive. Put down Hall. Play a Hall. And now I can free the Fae again. They're down to 1 card in hand. They are a combo deck, so if they can, like, play a creature. Okay. Would I rather mill 4 cards into this go blank and then lose whatever I find to have this creature on an adventure? Or not? I think I do want to do that. Because with the Ledger Shredders, these creatures on adventures are just spells. Okay, then I go blank, discard this, exile my graveyard. If they play another spell here, I connive too. They're 20 life with 0 cards. I think conniving is worth more than firing up the Hollow Storm Giants right now. Connive, discard Opt. Brazen Borrower is great. Discard Coast. And attack with my 3 flying. Now we start to turn it around. Cool, we did it. Alright. If they don't combo, they don't win. That's a good mantra. They have a lot of discard though. I can't really count on counter spells. Do I want something like Anger the Gods in? Do I want Young Pyromancer to overwhelm them on the fair boards? Pyromancer might be better than Prof's Memory here. I have Aether Gust and 2 Brazen Borrowers that can clear an Atraxa if it actually comes in. Picklock Prankster helped me outmuscle that unlicensed hearse into the treasure cruise. I like that. Prismatic Command kills hearse. I could cut a lightning axe for the other young pyromancer, which does bring down my anti-transmogrify shields a little bit. I think it's fine though. I'm going in. They have 61 cards. The 61 card special. All their cards were too good. I like my hand for game 3. I'm going to keep it. Mostly I just don't want a mulligan versus the Thoughtseize deck, and if they duress me here, they're going to miss, which feels insane every time it happens. Steam Vents tapped. Please duress me, please duress me. No duresses. I could get a Ledger Shredder in, so I'm going to. I'm just not doing anything else here. If they Fatal Push this right away, that's fine, it's a Fatal Push out of the mix. But if they don't, I can Ledger Shredder, consider Connive twice next turn. That's a lot of movement. Heartless Act. Destroy target creature, no counters on it. Alright, that was the last time that could ever work. Arclight Phoenix, my goodness. I've never seen this card in all my time playing the deck. Ledger Shredder, consider combo. Discard Phoenix. And I will put Opt in my hand. We've seen Graveyard Hate, but they didn't put it into play yet. We'll see if they were sandbagging it or if they just don't have it here. Go blank. Alright, well, they had it here. I'll discard 2 Steam Vents, then they can have the Arclight Phoenix from my graveyard. Opt. Find Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand connives. Fiery Impulse. I do want to keep that. I'm going to discard the Hall. I do want a land here. Ooh, alright. Phoenix to my hand. I do want a land to play Drake, but not more than I want all the cards that are already in my hand. And I have the shields up if they shove a Transmogrify. Oh, now you have a Duress. If they cast a second spell this turn, though, I could put Phoenix to the graveyard. This can only take Impulse. Hell yeah. Alright, yeah, put this Phoenix in the bin. Thank you. They have a Spooky Skeleton. I'm going to consider in the end step. I know that's a spell that could be... Hitting that Drake feels bad, but getting it out of the way feels good. Sleight of Hand. Oh, this is going to be close. I think I just want to take the Aether Gust and attack, and not play any other cards. They've shown me Transmogrify here. Or they've shown me the ability to Transmogrify something. And if they don't do anything, I'll just free the Fae. Another Spooky Skeleton. That makes both of them worse, because now I can kill one and they'll still control a suspected skeleton. Brazen Borrower Prankster. I'll take Treasure Cruise. Yes. Here we go. It's time. Treasure Cruise. Draw 3 cards. Cast Opt, or Consider, which gets to Connive. I like your Spell Pierce, that's so sick. I am not able to convert here, though. That sucks. Or not yet. Brazen Borrower, I will just put that on top. Okay. I'll play River Glide Pathway and attack for 3. Still didn't trigger Phoenix, but like I said, that barely matters when you're drawing 5, 6, 7 cards a turn. I have in my hand 3 answers to Transmogrify. I'm going to take 4 from these. I'm not going to tap out to remove 1. Who cares? Duressing me. Okay. You can look at my multiple answers to your spell. You can take Gust or Pierce here. And I am going to bounce one of the Spooky Skeletons in the end step. Just take that pressure off. Okay, I can attack for 3. If I shock in, I can add Ledger Shredder and Brazen Borrower to this board. I'm in for that. Ledger Shredder, attack for 3, and then we're just on the flying beatdown. They're missing land drops, and Transmogrify costs 4, so they can't duress me and Transmogrify this turn. It has to be one or the other. I'll let Thoughtseize happen, because that is lethal. That puts them to dead on board, leaving back the creature that can't block. Watch out for that one. Brazen Borrower's in. I have exactly 7 on board. Torch the tower, sure. Removal's fine. Oh, guess what? I still have 7 on board. Because Phoenix has haste. GG. Yeah, once I knew what their deck was doing, it became pretty hard to lose. Yeah, if you just like blindly let yourself get comboed game 1 because you didn't realize they were Gigantha and didn't deduce what was going on, then that's pretty bad. But if you just hold up efficient interaction and have a ton of card selection, that's pretty good. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables. On the draw in round 4, gonna keep. Losing die rolls like crazy, which, like I said, is worse in Pioneer, but also you can play through it. A Thoughtseize from the opponent taking Treasure Cruise over something like Ledger Shredder. They're in for the long game here. Castle Lock Thwain. This could be the Waste Not deck. It could just be Vampires. Ending Spire Bluff Canal. Don't need more of that. This is one of those spots where I'm not particularly interested in just playing Ledger Shredder into a Fatal Push for no value. So I'll get my engine in for the first time. First time we're seeing Prof's Memory. Let's see if we just get Zorand here. Liliana. Okay. She's good too. I'm going to discard Steam Fence. They discarded a backup Liliana. This would be a great time to come up with a few Phoenixes. I could run Ledger Shredder into Liliana. I think I'm going to. I'm going to have to get through that eventually. Second Ledger Shredder, I like. I'll discard the land. Picklock Prankster, Sleight of Hand. I'll take Sleight of Hand here, actually. Ledger Shredder does get slightly larger before it dies. Yep, sacking the Ledger Shredder, as one does. There's a Phoenix. Now we're cooking. I'm not going to be able to cast 3 spells this turn, so I think I'll just play Ledger Shredder and another Sleight of Hand. Get this Phoenix where it belongs. Ooh, another one. Fire Impulse and another Ledger Shredder. Let's go. A Shredder is 3/5 immediately. Obviously, they have Liliana, and they're making that much worse than it could be, but at the same time, you can see the power of this thing. And I've been holding back because they have Liliana. The first one could have been 4 or 5 power the first time. They Liliana'd their third Liliana. I'll discard a Phoenix and just hope that my top million cards have a 1-mana spell in them somewhere. Discard Phoenix. They have Hive of the Eye Tyrant. All right, Moment of Truth. There we go. Already there. Consider. Keep the Fairy. Consider. I'll keep the Steam Fence too. Opt. That's 3. I'll keep Treasure Cruise. Yeah, all right. Shock in. Cast Treasure Cruise. Unfortunately, oh, look at that. That's the other 2 Phoenixes. The way that the Prof's trigger works is if you don't have a target at the time it goes on the stack, it just doesn't work. So I don't get to like +5 these Phoenixes. I put 3 on Liliana because I actually want them to plus it. Like if they go down a card here and I get a Phoenix, that's a deal. Sorin. Okay. Suddenly we have this going on as well. Is it the Vein Ripper? It is the Vein Ripper. Okay. I'll discard a Phoenix. Okay, here we go. Can Picklock Prankster save the day? Free the Fae. Finds Consider. That's 1 spell. 2 spells. Ashiok, no thank you. 3rd spell. Opt, we got there. Opt. Spell Pierce no longer useful. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Okay. I'm going to play a Hall of Storm Giants tapped. Move to combat. I do get to gas up one of my Phoenixes this time. It has 5 power, which is big enough to tangle with Vein Ripper. What attacks make sense here? If I go face, they take 5, 6, 7, 8. They go to 3, then back up, and I lose a Phoenix. And I don't have good looks at more Phoenixes next turn. And the Vein Ripper will be bigger and have lifelink next turn. They can also minus kill a Phoenix. I think just sending it to the dome is where I want to be here. They're blocking one of the small Phoenixes. They go to 3. They go back up to 5. Prof's Eidetic Memory. Finally kicking in, doing the thing. It is legendary, the enchantment. So playing a second one out doesn't double the power. They're yeeting Liliana to kill my little Phoenix, which drains me for 2. They can attack me for 7. Lifelink, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they could put me to 4 here and gain a bunch and exile one of the Phoenixes. Yeah, they're starting to thread it together. Eye of the Eye Tyrant is up. Okay, they did not use Sorin. Does that mean they're gonna try to Lightning Helix? Oh, any creature dies. Okay, no, they had lethal. Cool. All right, yeah, cool. Sick. I should have left a Phoenix back. Okay. I might have thrown that one at the end, but they also used every card in their hand to thread together exactly Splinter Twin. Don't know how bad I'm supposed to feel about that. A Crackling Drake, negate Brazen Borrower. Again, shaving on some of the graveyard stuff because they're going to have the hate for it. Young Pyromancer, I quite like here. Beacon Bolt is fine. Fiery Impulse doesn't seem like it does anything here. Does that mean I get to keep a Phoenix or keep a Memory? I think I'll keep a Phoenix. You can still just cast those. Okay, here we go. That was a cool sequence at the end. I'll keep this hand. I love a Picklock Prankster. If opponent Thoughtseize's Prankster, my hand's pretty bad. Duress, swing and a miss. Nice mulligan, got him. Ledger Shredder suddenly revealed. I'm going to play Red Side Pathway and pass. I want to pick some pranks here. Unlicensed Hearse, yep, that's a good card. End step, free the Fae. Opt, consider, opt, sleight of hand. I guess it's sleight of hand that sees the most cards. Or they see the same cards. Yeah, without my graveyard as a resource, I think I just want sleight of hand. Ledger Shredder, sleight of hand. Connive. I do kind of want to start casting Phoenixes and just smush. Yeah, I'm going to discard the backup Prankster here, which is certainly a choice, but it's a choice that I've made. And now I'm just going to cast a 3/2 Flying Haste every turn for the rest of the game and hope that their line or their hand doesn't line up against that. Okay, they passed with no play. Their hand is just 6 spells right now. Phoenix, attack for 5. Activating Hearse now is cool. That means they didn't plan to kill Phoenix and exile it. Still missing their land drop. I'm going to sandbag this Otawara as a land that can clear Vein Ripper. They kept this hand on the strength of something. I guess Duress into Unlicensed Hearse could be considered something. But it wouldn't surprise me if they have Sorin Vein Ripper in their hand right now. And they're just waiting for that land number 3 to close it out. They did find land number 3. We're about to find out. There are some sweepers that exile in the format as well. Yep, there's Sorin. Sorin puts in Vein Ripper. What a surprise. Award sacrifice a creature. I think sacrificing a Phoenix is better than the Shredder. Award sacrifice a creature. I'll lose a Phoenix here. I have another Phoenix in hand. Do I put them to 1 or do I deal with Sorin? If I put them to 1, they have a pretty big hurdle to come over. All right, I'm sacking Ledger Shredder. Nope. Hold on. No, it's fine. Yeah. I'm a little worried about like a sweeper effect. Okay, attack you and attack Sorin. If they have a second Sorin, they just send it back again. That would be really annoying. But I do have lethal on board. I actually have lethal on board through a Vein Ripper now, so they can have second Sorin. That's fine. Cool. All right, by keeping the Phoenix, I actually kept lethal on board. And as long as they don't have a 1-mana removal spell that kills Phoenix right now, we're good. Attack you. Cool. All right, just slamming it through. All it took was them missing their 3rd land drop for 100 turns. Unlicensed Hearse confirmed. Do I want Prismari Command over a Treasure Cruise? Now knowing that is specifically their type of graveyard hate? I think so. Let's do it. I will keep Eye of the Eye Tyrant. Duress will find a Treasure Cruise this time. One of the only 2 in my deck. Steam Vents comes in tapped. No Hearse this time, but they don't need it. Spirebluff Canal pass. I can emergency consider for Spell Pierce if they have Sorin. Okay. Once again, no 3rd land drop. Free the Fae. Let's get out of here. I'll take a consider. That's my only option. Island, Young Peasy. And I will pass the turn with consider available to me. Consider replacement Young Peasy. Always had it. I go. Its throat's been gone for, but it found a friend. Please don't slam Sorin. Okay, we didn't get Sorin. Storm, Carve Coast, attack for 1, and I will play this other Pyromancer. Let's get it out here. My plan is to free the Fae, but if they have a removal spell, I'll pivot on to Opt. Fine. Ledger Shredder. I'll keep that. Okay. Still worried about Sorin, but we have made a lot of headway here. Shit. Land number 3. Land number 3. Emergency. Emergency. Creature of the Schism. Okay. Arc Light Phoenix. That card's pretty sweet. Ledger Shredder. I'm going to play the blue side land here so I can free the Fae and look for an answer to this thing. Shredder discards Phoenix. Free the Fae finds Opt and Sleight of Hand. I'll take Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand finds Negate and Otawara. I'll take Otawara and pass the turn from here. Creature of the Schism, way less scary than Vein Ripper, let me tell you. Currently no spells in my hand, but I can Ledger Shredder plus Prankster and get a Connive. Opponent makes a 1/1 lifelink here, and I take 2. Certainly not trading my whole board for Preacher of the Schism. Go blank, okay. I'll discard the 2 lands and keep Ledger Shredder. Sucks to lose a Phoenix. Prof's Memory, what's up? Okay. Ledger Shredder, Prof's Memory, trigger. These just automatically go away because I can't do anything in response. But Prof's Memory draws a card, and that means I can play a Prankster here and gas up one of my elementals. Suddenly a 4/4. Attack with everything. If they're taking the trade they can get. I'm just pummeling onto the board here. Prof's Memory. It's time. I decided to go Hellbent versus their discard deck rather than hold up the double adventure for potential Connive, and maybe that was wrong. Fatal Push one of those Shredders. I drew a spell. We're good. Opt. Find Sleight of Hand. If I Prankster first, then my Connive actually has a choice to make. If I Sleight of Hand, I'm just milling 1. I'll keep Sleight of Hand over... Oh, Opt would have been an additional +1. It's fine. Sleight of Hand sees cards better. Right, Lightning Axe doesn't help me now, but will eventually. Eidetic Memory onto the Vigilance creature. And here they come. Giant monsters invading the night. Opponent's at 8. It might have been wrong to put any counters onto my Elemental, because they can just chump block it with a lifelink creature every turn instead of one of the flyers. Like, the first Prankster could have been bigger there, but they also used a Fatal Push on something that wasn't a 4/4 because I diversified. I'm in Flavor Text mode on Lightning Axe too. I can just pay 6 for it. You get another 1/1. I still refuse to block this Death Touch creature. Kalitas Trader to get. Sweet. Another Lightning Axe. Alright. Flavor Text mode to kill Kalitas. No extra cards drawn, but still a big attack. This was not lethal even... I could have put them to 1 and they keep their creature, or put them to 2 and they don't have a creature. And 2 is the same as 1 here. And we got the GGs. On to the final round. I'm on the draw in the final round. 0 for 5 on die rolls. Just is my lot in life with this deck. I'm going to keep... I'm against a Yorion strategy, which is usually Nivdolite in this format. A deck that got a lot of juice from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, leading on Fabled Passage. This is one of those decks that you can easily grind super far down into your deck and win with like 2 or 3 cards left to set up a single turn win all at once situation. One of the very few matchups where you don't board out Temporal Trespass. Forest, Sunpetal Grove, Sylvan Caryatid, yep. Opt. I'll take another Prankster. Happy to see those. All of Storm Giants go. 4 in the pool. Yeah, we're just casting Omnath. There he is. That's a card that exists. It's a lot worse in this format, which without real fetch lands, but it's still very powerful. I'll free some Phase. Sleight of Hand and Opt are my choices. I'll take Sleight of Hand. Consider Sleight of Hand. I'm going to do the actions that give me the most chances to have a Phoenix in my hand when I cast this Lightning Axe. I'll take Consider, Island, Consider, another Lightning Axe gone. All right. Did not come up with a Phoenix anywhere, which is a shame because we did have 3 spells that turn. Would have been nice little glue to make that happen. But now they're untapping into Bring to Light or Niv Mizzet, and we'll see if they have it. Up the Beanstalk. Okay, that's not Niv Mizzet. It is a long-term draw engine if this game ends up going long, though. And I do have 3 spells lined up. Free the Fae, Consider. A lot of looks at Phoenix next turn. I'm going to Prankster first, free these Faes, put Opt in my hand, cast Consider, Sleight of Hand into the graveyard, Proph's Memory, Riverglide Pathway, Consider, Opt into the graveyard. Yep, we're going to go through half the deck without a Phoenix again. I need to get better at math. I can't seem to figure out how to divide 4 into 60 appropriately. Fabled Passage. Now they're set up. Bring to Light draws 2 cards in addition to casting Niv Mizzet because of Up the Beanstalk triggering off Bring to Light and the Niv. Oh, they just got Yorion. Their hand seems kind of anemic, but I'm doing nothing to punish it. Okay, here we go again. Sleight of Hand. Picklock Prankster. Free the Fae. I hit a Phoenix and a Treasure Cruise. Finally. The cards my deck is built around have arrived. Treasure Cruise. Drawing 3 cards. Drew another Phoenix. I'm gonna zap in a Steam Vents. Go to combat. Okay, here we go. Things are happening. I mean, this is a deck with Leyline Binding. They might just exile the Phoenix now and draw a card. But I am at least presenting threats. A turn behind schedule, but we're here. But I'm already down to 24 cards in my deck. I have the Galvanic Iteration. The Temporal Trespass is in here somewhere. This really is the game plan we're playing towards. Just at some point, I'm going to take 3 turns in a row and hope it's good enough at that point with just a small number of cards left in my deck. But going through 36 cards before I found a Treasure Cruise or a Phoenix is a tough beat. I do wish I was a turn ahead of where I am right now. Lightning Helix, okay. An actual removal spell rather than exile-based anything. Yorion draws 2 cards if they cast it, if they just do that. If they have Bring to Light to get some sort of cranial extraction effect and take all my Phoenixes out, this gets a lot harder. It is just Yorion. Draw a card from Beanstalk on the way in. Flicker the Beanstalk, draw another card. Beanstalk's back in the end step. Draw your card. I'm going to opt. Opt Stormcarve Coast to the bottom. Found Fiery Impulse, a card that is not good. Okay, Ledger Shredder, Island, Free the Fae, Trigger, Treasure Cruise, discard Arclight Phoenix, Free the Fae, finds another Treasure Cruise. It's the only option, I have to take it, even though I already have one. Cruise, draw 3, hope there's a castable spell here that I want to cast. Lava Axe would be dope. There is more Treasure Cruise. I could just Fiery Impulse Yorion, so they're unlikely to block. What happens if I cruise here? My hand is full of cards. Alright, yeah, I'll cruise here. Okay, I have 11 cards left in my deck. The Temporal Trespass is in here somewhere. Move to combat, get 2 Phoenixes. Do I want to attack to push 3 damage, or just leave these in play? And I'm going to cast spells next turn, so I will push the 3 damage. Watch this be the game where Temporal Trespass is literally the bottom card. Okay, Leyline Binding. Exiling a Phoenix forever. I do play Brazen Borrower, but that's not a good answer to Leyline Binding. And in my cleanup step, I'm going to lose Spire Bluff Canal, Island, and Steam Vents. Sacred Foundry. They've drawn 3 cards since the last time they had all their mana available. There's 2 Phoenixes and the Temporal Trespass in the bottom cards of my deck right now. Molten Collapse kills Ledger Shredder. They attack for 4, and they're still spending mana. Bring to Light, they're doing the combo here. Whatever their best card is, it's coming. Draw a card off Beanstalk for the Bring. Draw a card for whatever they get. Niv Mizzet Supreme. Instant and sorcery cards that are exactly 2 colors have Jumpstart. Means they can start firing cards out of their graveyard. They can Bring to Light, Molten Collapse, Lightning Helix out of their graveyard next turn. Let's try not to give them a next turn. Can we put the combo together? Okay, Ledger Shredder. Can I afford to lead on Ledger Shredder, or do I have to just cruise first? I don't have enough mana. Alright, so if I cruise, I don't think I'll have enough cards in my graveyard to take an extra turn. Yeah, I'm just a little short here. I'm going to play Shredder first, and then cruise. Shredder Connives. Get rid of this. Yeah, Spell Pierce doesn't seem likely to be useful. Though Fiery Impulse is definitely useless. Alright, discard Fiery Impulse, draw 3. 6 cards remain in my deck after this cruise resolves. There's all my Phoenixes, which means I can Lightning Axe and then fail to trigger the Phoenixes. Oh no. Do I need to memory first? I still have a land drop. Okay, I'm gonna memory and hope it's a spell. Memory, it's not a spell. Yikes. Lightning Axe, kill the Yorion, discard a Phoenix, and then fail to bring my Phoenixes back. Immediately 7-9 on Ledger Shredder. Those numbers are good. Let's hope this Spell Pierce does anything, because... Oh, sick. We did it. I mean, they could still just Molten Collapse for Jumpstart from their graveyard, but we did at least Spell Pierce something versus the opponent with this much mana in play. 5 cards left in my deck. The Temporal Trespass is in there somewhere. They can Jumpstart Bring to Light this turn. If they have any kind of graveyard hate card, they're going to be fine. I'm also in danger of being decked by Ledger Shredder, because I have 5 cards in my deck. If they... Okay, they killed the Ledger Shredder. I don't have to worry about that now. Now I just have to worry about every other card they have. In for 5. I actually need to draw a cantrip before I can even start getting things together. Like, I have to opt, slight, or consider into the Trespass, because copying a spell doesn't count as casting it for purposes of Phoenix. They're bringing to light. They should be able to find something that closes the door here. It'd be pretty embarrassing if they don't. They got Niv Mizzet Reborn. Okay, this is a 6/6 that draws a bunch more cards. They found Pillage the Bog and Lightning Helix off of that. Okay, deck, hook it up. There's the Trespass, which does very little at this point. Okay, so I play River Glide Pathway, and then Galvanic Iteration, and Trespass, that I might as well pay mana for, because I'm not doing anything else this turn. I get to take 2 turns in a row, but my 4 cards have to bring back Phoenix multiple times. Okay, here's my first turn. Consider. I basically have to keep all cards and hope they're spells. Consider, keep Lightning Axe on top. That doesn't trigger my Phoenixes though. Yeah, I'm just screwed here. Out of spells, out of action, which is a shame because I do. So I have 9, 18 with the eidetic memory. I have 20 damage here. Oh, I have these Picklock Pranksters also. Oh, I have to. Oh wait, here we go. I can Galvanic Iteration. That's a spell. 1, 2, 3. Iteration from the graveyard. Ooh, we might be there. Forgot about that for a second. Discard a card to deal damage to Niv Mizzet twice. 5 to that. 5 to that. They have Lightning Helix though, which I think is gonna flip the race. 3 Phoenixes come back. Oh, I had to play the fucking asshole. Oh no. I just lost damage. If I had played the Picklock Prankster, which is my plan anyway, I forgot about profs. I got so lost in the sauce here. Yeah, that's a giant lifelink vigilance creature. That's just not going to be in play now. I still have the 1/1, but it's not enough. But if they Helix one of these Phoenixes, they're not able to block Hall of Storm Giants. God, this Prankster would have been so big. Yeah, well, I think it would have been like 3 power, but that's all I really needed. I think I blew it. I'm also supposed to shock that in and play another. I'm just falling apart here. I think I could have won this game if I just, was smarter than I am. Fiery Impulse doesn't do anything. Damn. All right. Yeah, I blew it. 3, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think I could have won this game. I might still be able to win this game, though, because Ottawa is really good. I have exactly 1 card left in my deck, and they had to lose 1 to cast this Lightning Helix also. Does Fiery Impulse, costing them 3 life, do anything here? 3, 6, 7. No. Does it matter next turn? It might. Okay, I'm going to make sure they don't gain 3 here. Yeah, I could have had it. Okay, they're at 4, which definitely could be dead. Prankster. Leave up Ottawara. When is it correct to Ottawara? They have 2 Lightning Helixes in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Helix. I think I just have to bounce the Niv Mizzet now. Because if they Helix, And they could just do that anyway. Or maybe it's better as a surprise. Deeply disappointed. It was there. It was there. I just lost my control of my brain for like 1 second. Valky, God of Lies. Okay, so this can see the Otawara. They know what I'm cooking with now, which means I'm not going to surprise them with anything. It's just, can they beat this or not? Okay, they moved into second main with no attacks. I have to Otawara in the end step here. Bounce the Niv Mizzet. They double Helix in response. And then I probably can't win anymore. Yeah, last turn was the one where I needed to do it. If they were at lower life here, if my creature was bigger, just if this was just a 2-3 that was in play a turn earlier. Damn. It's okay. Learn from my mistakes. Don't do this in the RCQ. Yeah, there's the 2 Helixes. They're at 9. I don't believe it's possible to get my Phoenixes back from 0 cards in my deck, especially knowing that it's Stormcarved Coast from earlier. Okay, they got me. I got myself, really. That was exactly the game I wanted to play, the game that I lined up. That was also a game where we went through 30 cards before we saw a Phoenix or a Cruise, where imagine if that whole game just happened 2 turns earlier than it did. Then we're not operating on such tight margins. Okay, here I'm sideboarding out all this removal. We saw removal just rotting in my hand basically that whole game. Ashak's good against Bring to Light, but not much else that's going on over there. We're really just trying to stick a threat and counter their important spells. Like that game, there was the Bring to Light for Niv Mizzet, and then the Lightning Helixes. That mattered, and if I just have a little more interaction in the deck, we get over the edge. I'm going in. Try to play tighter here. Wake up. This is the finals. I'll keep this hand. Mono blue, but let's do it. I boarded out most of my red cards. Storm Giants, like Negate and Cruise. I think Cruise is more important than Negate this early on. Dot the Triome. I'm going to play Hall, and I'm going to free the Fae. Rather than play Ledger Shredder out for no value, I can guarantee Ledger Shredder plus Consider or Cruise next turn. Fae, get out there. Temporal Trespass, Treasure Cruise, Consider. I don't really want to lose my Trespass yet. This card is going to be useless for a long time, but it's going to be really important later. Opponent's going to have to remember that's there like 35 turns from now. Ripping that Phoenix right now is great. Immediately cashed out on Ledger Shredder. But they are killing right away. Glad I got this Phoenix out of my hand by waiting. Mystical Dispute on top of the library. Okay, here we go. Let's see what their turn 3 is. Because I am poised to explode. Temple Garden. They're pillaging the bog. Okay, emergency pillage. I get to look at 6 cards here. I don't think there's a card for a single white or green that blows up my graveyard. And if I get to fire 1 Cruise off here with Counterspell back, I'm going to feel good about my spot. Sick. All right. Consider. Fuels the Cruise. Hits a Phoenix. Let's go. Opt. I'll keep Sleight of Hand. Treasure Cruise. Cruise your daddy. Play Otawara as a land. And they're under pressure. Here we go. This is what happens when you have 2 Phoenixes in your top 25 cards instead of 0. We haven't won this game yet. They are a deck that plays sweepers, and they have Bring to Light and stuff that can catch up here. Even just Lightning Helix killing one of these buys a bunch of time. They did shock in a red source. Brazen Borrower. I'm going to start with Sleight of Hand. Prof's Memory. What's up? Is that better than Prankster? Probably not. Memory could hit a land, though, which is something I am interested in. Nah, Prankster's so much better. I have multiple Delve spells in my hand. Sleight of Hand could hit a land also. Alright, I'll take the land over the second Prof's Memory. Sorry, Memory. I gave you a chance. You didn't deliver. Alright, I'm attacking. I can Mystical Dispute any color spell here for 3 mana. Lightning Helix is not where I'm looking for a fight. I have plenty of spells to cast. I just want to make sure I don't lose some other way. Okay, I'm going to hold up Mystical Dispute, and if they don't do anything I have to dispute, I'm going to Prankster. And if what they have is a blue spell, that's fine. I have 2 more Phoenixes where that came from. And without Beanstalk in play, this isn't drawing cards. They're just trading off for a free permanent that already dealt 6 damage to them. Land number 5. And they didn't cast a spell, didn't reach for Yorion. Free the Fae. Get another Prankster, or I could get Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand, Treasure Cruise. Yeah, that should find what I need. I'd love a Ledger Shredder, or some way to get this Phoenix from my hand into the graveyard. Sleight of Hand. They're making a move. Fabled Passage in response. Steam Vents. These are both red sources, and one of them doesn't hurt me. I'll take that one. So it's just time for big cruising. Big cruising. Notion Thief. That would have been sick if I didn't have a counterspell. Should have played my red source first. That would have been so perfect to just answer that and also discard Phoenix. Wow, that was... I just wasn't expecting that, and that's going to cost me 3 damage. I have played 3 spells already. I think I want to opt anyway. Negates in my deck somewhere. Steam Vents. I have a second red source in my hand now. Another Cruise. Okay, Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, disappointed I didn't just play my land first. That was free to do and cost me a huge interaction. I had to use my counter spell on something that I could have killed with a removal spell. That sucks. As we say, tighten up, keep moving. They started to spend mana and then changed their mind. Just gonna go to my turn here. Nothing to do except play the cards. Another red side pathway. And I can cast 2 Temporal Trespasses this turn if I think it's time to do that. I could also just play Ledger Shredder and a Picklock Prankster and see what the board state looks like after that. Prankster. I've cast 0 spells so far. Discard Island. And then I'll just go to combat. Another Leyline Binding. Exile base removal. Powerful stuff. And I think I'm just going to pass from here and try to go off next turn. They're not doing anything. Yeah, no spells at all. I could cast Brazen Borrower just as a 3-1 here. I think I want to do that. My plan is to make them dead. And that's pretty good at doing that. They had a Lightning Helix, that's fine. This was all a distraction for what I'm really doing. Opt is a sweet one. That guarantees Phoenix trigger. Opt first. Mystical Dispute in the hand. Let's go. Give me that. Galvanic Iteration. Triggers Ledger Shredder. I can discard Lightning Axe at this point. Iteration, question mark. Temporal Trespass. Ooh, I can't actually hold up the dispute, though. Do I have a land drop? Alright. I might have just messed up and should have played my land first, but we got away with it. Okay. That's what happens when you find a couple Phoenixes and they don't have Up the Beanstalk. Now we've got to get game 3 on the draw. We both have about 8 minutes on our clock. I don't think my plan is changing here. Let's do it. I'll keep. I like the counterspells. I like the Young Pyromancer juke. I like that I have red mana this time. Not that I needed it last game. Sleight of Hand. Found a Phoenix. I'd rather have Consider than another Steam Vents here. Mana Confluence. That's going to add up, I hope. Leading on Caryatid's really strong, though. I'm going to Consider now, just in case I find Sleight of Hand. I will keep Negate, and I will shock in Steam Vents. They do have things like Notion Thief that they might cast this turn that are blue, that I'd like to counter. Another Caryatid. But they're missing land drops. Okay. I don't have Anger of the Gods in to punish this start, unfortunately. Not that I think it would be correct to even do that. I'm going to get the Haul in tap this turn while I'm just holding up interaction anyway. They found a land. Our clocks are exactly the same. What a battle we're having. I think this is just a draw-go situation. I don't have a lot of leverage, and my leverage right now is my hand is full of counterspells. I need to find a way to be clever about getting this Phoenix in. Ancient Cornucopia, that just gains life. That's fine. And gaining life is good, and if they cast Niv Mizzet, they gain like a lot of life. Okay, I think I can get Young Pyromancer in this turn, and I can save Ledger Shredder for a time when it's going to be cash out the Arclight Phoenix immediately. Vanishing Verse. Now that I'm holding Ledger Shredder, I am not excited about negating to protect that card. I think I'm going to be able to find a spot where I just counter 1 or 2 spells over the next couple turns, and then I can Shredder Phoenix Blam. Omnath can get Mystical Disputed, so it will. One of the last chances I'm going to get to counter that card. They might have even sandbagged their land to gain 4 life. And they did, yeah. That Stomping Ground could have got the Omnath through. Okay, that was a very good turn. Can I draw a cantrip? Yes. All right. Ledger Shredder. Opt. This gets Phoenix into the graveyard at minimum while still holding up negate. Phoenix in the graveyard. I don't need another land here. I just drew one. I could slam Treasure Cruise here, but I really like holding up the counter spells and making them come to me. They're getting low on cards in hand over there. And negate is the best counter spell that I have. Cornucopia gains 1 life here. Yeah, they're down to 2 cards in their hand. I'm just playing this super slow right now. I'll take these 1-for-1 exchanges. The Shredder was even kind of better than 1-for-1. It was like 1.5 for 1 because that Phoenix is in my graveyard now. And they grabbed Yorion. Okay, here we go. 3 Treasure Cruises. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gonna try to rip this Treasure Cruise now and get something going. I can counter a Notion Thief. I can't counter a Dovin's Veto. That was really good. 3 cards in hand, one of them's Yorion. They can play around Mystical Dispute now. Uh-oh. They're starting to unlock. Yep, Yorion resolves. They flicker the Ancient Cornucopia. That untaps it for more mana. That's cool. Opt. Let's get the chain rolling again. Firebuff Canal to the bottom. Phoenix. Do I want to just cast a Phoenix? I don't think so. I have life points to work with here. I might cast Phoenix next turn when I can hold him negate, but I think just leaving the shields down to bring the light is the quickest way that I lose this game. Second Cornucopia. Yeah, I mean, these cards do add up. They're at 29 life, and all they've done really is just play the game. Okay. Ledger Shredder. And I think I just pass. And if they try to kill Ledger Shredder, I can dispute the removal spell and put Phoenix in the graveyard. Finishing Verse. Okay. Moment of Truth. I guess I just take the risk to tap out and fight over this. Get to keep this. It puts Phoenix in the graveyard and hope that last card in their hand isn't a banger. They could have paid for that. That's weird that they didn't. Interesting. I was supposed to negate that. That was really bad. I just forgot about the Cornucopias over there. Unpunished, though. They didn't pay. Might be punished by Bring to Light here, though. Yep. I couldn't negate that anyway. Give Izzet Supreme. If they Vanishing Verse again, I get a Connive trigger. Dovin's Veto is in the graveyard. That sucks. Okay, free the Fae. Start there. Everything good starts here. Get back Opt. Cast Opt. Get a Connive. That's 2 spells. Eidetic Memory. Interesting. Okay, put back. I will lose the Eidetic Memory. That's fine. Opt still happening. Another Opt. Treasure Cruise here. I know they can veto it, but let's at least get that out. Oh, they didn't veto it. Wow. Okay. Move to... Ooh. I'm going to hold up Negate and move to combat. I'll get my Phoenixes back. They don't really do anything right now, but they don't have to. Vanishing Verse, targeting a Phoenix. If I negate this and they veto back, then veto's out of the graveyard, and I get a Connive. Okay, that was countered. They have another one in the graveyard, but they're down to 1 card in hand, so they can't just jumpstart forever. And the next card they play gets a Connive. Connive, discard. I think it's Opt. And I can consider and get another Connive here. Connive, discard the land. Spin this land. Okay, I mean, they're out of stuff to do here. They don't have good attacks, because my Phoenix has just come back. That is your prerogative. Okay. I mean, that gives Yorion jumpstart, I guess, or is it instant sorcery? No. Yorion doesn't jumpstart. That's good. They do have a lot of life. Another Phoenix. Oh God, what do I even do here? Prof's Memory. Draws a card. Treasure Cruise. Draws 3 cards. Picklock Prankster in creature mode. Picks up all of those. Draw triggers. Sleight of Hand. Put that on top. Cast Sleight of Hand. Take the Ledger Shredder. Move to combat. Prof's Memory makes a giant creature. We're just kind of playing to the clock at this point. Unfortunately, because I think this game is becoming really interesting. I have a 6/8. They only have Dovin's Veto in their graveyard to jumpstart. If they rip Bring to Light right now, I'm in trouble. But I'm doing great this game otherwise. Okay, cool. Ledger Shredder. Consider. I'm going to try to actually win this. Discard Arclight Phoenix. Consider. Get rid of land. Sleight of hand. Take Lightning Axe. No, that doesn't work. Sleight of hand. And play another Sleight of hand. Take that Spell Pierce. Oh, Ottawar would have been good there too. Yeah, Ottawar was better than Spell Pierce. I'm just playing fast. Prof's Memory onto this Phoenix. Attack with my things that... just attack with everything. Here they come. 2 of these kill Niv Mizzet if they try to engage, and the others just push damage. Oh, they're at 47. I forgot about that. I don't think I'm going to win this game. I think I would win this game in paper, but I just have to pay attention to the clock here. I no longer think I would win this game in paper. I am 20 seconds ahead on the clock, though, now, in real life. Or in Moto life. They got Pillage the Bog, Hostage Taker. Those were their things. End step, Petty Theft, the Niv Mizzet. Just trying to do literally anything here. Though I probably shouldn't be trying to do anything. Have they F6'd? Seems they have. Alright, I think we're just going to be in a very stupid, boring F6 party. Yep, sorry folks, we are just doing Magic Online things at this point. If opponent's not playing cards, neither am I. They're slightly behind. If we both just F6 every turn, I end up ahead here. I think I would win this game, though. Oh no, I'm behind. I have a slight amount of lag. Yeah, this sucks so bad. I was supposed to win game 1, and I just didn't. Attack with all creatures. See if it takes them 4 seconds to figure out blockers. Timed out at the end. But, yeah, okay, so I messed up game 1, and I am fairly confident that I'm winning game 2, or game 3 with more time on the clock. It's fine. Okay, a 3-2 record, but 4-1 in real life. Got smushed by Sorin combo, and had a bunch of cool things happen besides. Like, we did showcase basically the full range of this deck. Boarding out the Phoenixes entirely to play control, aggro Phoenix, mid-range Phoenix, Crackling Drake beatdown, Prof's Eidetic Memory went off a few times. This deck does a lot and has a lot of decisions to make, and if you haven't actually played Pioneer and aren't aware of this deck, it's not just like, duh, Phoenix comes in, I win. There's a lot more going on here. I love when the best deck in a format is also a high skill deck that rewards you for knowing how to cantrip and how to sequence and stuff. Pretty good place to be. I think Treasure Cruise is probably too good for Pioneer, though, all things considered. But as long as it's here, I enjoy Phoenix. Thank you all for watching. Look forward to the Modern Horizons 3 content moving forward. Thank you, Chadwick, for this opportunity. Everyone, check out the Patreon. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.